Starting your week off on a great note here, and today we'll have our 45 minutes of movement, our 15-minute sound bath healing, and today is going to be a 50-50 split, half lower, half upper for our total body. And as always, feel free to adjust any poses as needed. You can also always ask me questions after class, and if something doesn't feel right for your body. And last, we'll set our name and our intention. So I'll go first. My name is Nikki, and my intention is all about following structure. So I've been putting into place things around workouts, nutrition, optimizing my energy, and using your yoga practice as a way to build structure into our week. So that's my intention today. We'll start over here.
My intention will be rest.
Rest. All right, I love it. Michelle?
I think my intention today will just be let it be.
Let it be. Perfect.
Yeah.
And what is your intention for today?
Intention would be, I like to let it be, I would say allow.
Oof, so good. Those are allowance, that's a major key right there. So we'll get started and we'll come flat on our back. And again, today is going to be very 50-50, so you'll notice a lot of balance and really creating that in your body. So let's begin with both hands actually flat on the floor, and beginning to fill your belly, your heart, and your throat with a big inhale. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, exhale, sigh it out. Another inhale, filling the belly, heart, and throat. Hold at the top for 3, 2, 1, and let it go. One more breath, biggest breath you've taken all day. And hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and silent. Beautiful. And start to get our windshield wipers to just check in with the body, letting the knees fall side to side. And really bring that intention into your body, whether it's rest, allowance, letting it be. Maybe just letting your body be, whatever positions feel good, letting it be your practice today. We'll get the last one, and coming back to the center here, let's take our right leg up to the ceiling and our single leg hamstring kicks, really actively kicking the shin towards the forehead. Abs are engaged, keeping that tailbone glued to the floor. We'll get one more kick here. And now grabbing for the calf in this same hamstring stretch position. Holding the right calf, extend the left leg straight for a supine split here, already getting pretty deep into the hamstring. And we'll breathe here for about 30 seconds. What I'm hearing for everyone today is maybe a little bit of rest, a little bit slower practice. And sometimes the slowness can allow some things to pass through you. Get one more breath in this hamstring stretch. And another challenging stretch here, we'll get our single side happy baby, keeping the left leg extended. Exhale, draw the right knee towards the right armpit, keeping that left side of your back glued to the ground if possible. Getting a deep stretch in that adductor and underneath the glute here. Sending that breath to your lower belly. And having gratitude for yourself for showing up for this practice today, making the time for your body and mind. And in this same position, one more challenging stretch, shift the right leg into a supine pigeon, so bending that leg to 90 degrees, and finding whatever angle feels best for that supine pigeon, maybe sliding the leg side to side, getting into that hip and that right glute. And then with one last stretch here, extend the right leg straight once again. Our straight leg variation of our supine twist, a little bit more of difficulty here. Pull the right leg across the body in about 20 seconds to hold. If this feels like too much, you could always bend the right leg. Trying to make yourself into this T-shaped position. Remembering to lean into the breath, especially in the more difficult poses. And gently unraveling from that stretch, coming flat to your back, center your hips, and we'll repeat that on the left leg. So let's start with that left leg up to the ceiling. Our single leg hamstring kicks to wake up our left side. Be scanning the body, noticing any differences between the left and the right. We'll take one last kick here, grabbing for the left calf, and now extend the right leg straight into our supine split, keeping our hips square. Keep your tailbone glued to the ground. Try to relax into the depths of this stretch. Maybe a soft bend in that left knee. That hamstring might be shaking a bit, that's okay. One last breath here. Grabbing for the edges of that left foot, right leg stays extended, that left side happy baby. Trying to keep the right side of your lower back glued to the floor if possible. Trying to soften through that left hip as you send your breath to that lower belly. With each exhale, can you draw that left knee closer to your armpit? Transitioning into that supine pigeon on the left side, pulling that left shin parallel to your chest, maybe making a couple gentle movements side to side, perhaps landing where you feel the most intensity in that left hip, that left glute. Just easing our way into opening up this lower body. Extending the left leg straight. Last one on this side, supine twist with a straight leg variation, keeping that leg away from us. And if you need to, you can bend the knee, really challenge yourself to find the length in your spine, find the length in your leg, in your hip. One last breath here. Coming back to the center and taking our knees, hugging them in towards our chest, bringing your knees to your forehead. Taking about 5 rocks up and down the spine. We're starting to wake up the body. Maybe you've had a full day at work. This is the first movement you've gotten all day. Last roll up to your seated cross shin position. And in our seated cross shin position, we'll start with some gentle shoulder rolls up, back, down and forwards. Just letting it go, allowing any tension to be there. Maybe closing your eyes if you're calling in some rest today. Reversing directions, rolling those shoulders forward and down. Trying to make as much space as we can. Last one. Interlacing your fingertips together, round forward, almost like a seated cat-cow. Pull your knuckles forward, and we'll hold here for about 20 seconds. Really focus on sending your breath to your upper back, opening up those shoulder blades, keeping that chin tucked. And then start to lift your tailbone, lift your chest, squeeze your elbows down towards your sides, and then also drive your elbows forwards. You'll feel a little bit through the back of the shoulders here. 10-second hold, you'll definitely feel this little rear delt firing up. And we'll get one more rounding forward, big inhale. On this variation, we're gonna go slightly to each side. So pull your left hand towards the right side of your mat, slight side bend, so that you feel your left shoulder blade pulling. And we'll hold here for about 15 seconds, breathing into that left shoulder blade. You probably didn't even know that felt tight. And trying to expand through that space right underneath that shoulder blade. Slowly switch through the center, really take your time, and then side bend towards the left so that your right hand is on top. Inhale, and then pull your knuckles forward towards the top left corner of your mat. And just noticing any differences in either side, allowing it to be okay if they're not the same. Returning back to the center and simply coming up to a neutral spine. You're going to lean onto one elbow, exhale, side bend, 20-second hold to one side, really reaching that, stretching that lat that's on top. How close can you drop that arm towards your top ear? And breathe into the rib cage that is closest to the ceiling. 5 more seconds here. Use your supporting hand to press you up through the center, and ever so gently switch to the other side, lean onto that elbow, keep both of your glutes glued to the floor, and stretch that arm close as you can to your ear. Breathe into that upper rib cage. Using this hour to really restore your body. And coming back through the center, extend both of your legs straight out in front, separate them about 6 to 8 inches or so, about hip distance apart. Inhale to reach up, and exhale, forward fold variation, grabbing for the arches of the feet if you can. And about 30 to 40 seconds here. Just a slight variation of our forward fold. And allow this one to be gentle. No need to force. You simply let gravity pull your body a little bit closer to the floor. Allowing yourself to be whatever depth your body is asking of you today. And taking one last breath here. Sliding back up to the top, sending your legs out into our full straddle. We have 2 different stretches to do here. First, we have our full pancake down on the elbows or the hands, 30 to 40 seconds here. Keeping your knees and your toes up towards the ceiling. And seeing how much you can allow your body to fall towards the earth. Staying present with each breath. Maybe inching 1 inch further forward our last 10 seconds. Pressing ourselves back up to the top, we're going to repeat that side bend we just did, except this time in our seated straddle. So reaching down your right leg first, side bend, reaching the arm up towards the ear, 20-second hold. You might notice a little more pull through that left lower back. Trying to allow that right ear to drop towards the right leg, almost there. Using the right hand to press you up through the center. Gently ease your way to the left leg, right arm reaches up. Keep both hips glued to the floor. 20 seconds to hold in this side bend. Trying to let that left ear drop closer to that left leg. Feeling that stretch through the right lower back and oblique. Using the left hand to press us back up through the center. One more stretch for our hips. Bringing both feet together in about a diamond shaped position, a little bit bigger than our usual butterfly. Should be about a square equal distance. And then pulling your nose towards your toes, just a 30-second hold. Noticing the sensations through the outside of the hips. You're doing a great job with the breath. Hear every breath you take. Noticing if you're holding your breath, just simply returning to it. Taking one last breath here, driving those elbows into those knees. Get one last seated stretch for our shoulders, bringing our feet about hip distance apart, whatever lower body feels supportive. Inching your hands back, fingertips face towards your glutes. Exhale, lower down, elbows send to the back wall. Using your core for support, you should feel a deep stretch through the front of your shoulders, going higher or lower. Definitely not forcing this one, but finding that nice in between where you feel the stretch, but no sharp pain. This one should feel pretty intense, pretty uncomfortable, but really opening the shoulders, the chest, the upper back. About 2 more breaths. One last breath here. Slowly pulling ourselves up and then swinging our legs around into our tabletop. Great job on that first little sequence there. With our cat-cow today, really taking any pace or variation, but beginning with an exhale, rounding up to the top, press through the shoulder blades. Inhale, arching the back. Continue for the next 30 seconds. You can take any circles, you can take any pauses that you'd like, front to back, side to side, maybe a segmented cat-cow. And just knowing that our theme today is structure, but within that structure you create flow. So even with the same cat-cow, you can show up for the same movement, but differently depending what your body and your mind is needing. So that's creating flexibility to listen to your body. We'll get the last one there. And next, inching forward into our standard puppy dog here, 30 seconds just to open through the chest, through the shoulders, letting that chest melt towards the floor, chin or forehead on the ground. Just about 20 minutes in, checking in with yourself. Is your intention still in your breath, still in your heart? And if not, just refocus, bringing that intention back to the top of your mind. Inching to the right side of your mat, gentle shoulder stretch. Place the left palm on top of the right, a very subtle variation. Now dropping your full chest towards the floor. You'll feel more depth in that left shoulder, but a little bit more gentle than our usual thumbs up position. Just allowing those hands to melt on top of each other. Maybe close your eyes. Using this to rest and restore the body. Gently inch over to the other side, left side of the mat. This variation, simply place the right palm on top of the left. And you can let both shoulders drop to the floor. Feeling that little subtle extra sensation through the right side. Maybe letting your right ear drop onto your right bicep. Closing your eyes if that feels good. Beautiful work on those shoulders, coming back to the center, dipping down to the elbows, and simply press the hips forward to land in our cobra. You can tuck the toes so the tops of the feet are on the mat. Pull your shoulder blades down and back, eyes gaze maybe at the top of your mat. And for a little extra spinal compression, you can squeeze your quads. And if that feels like too much, you can relax your legs. Just about 20 more seconds here. Breathing into that belly. Scanning your body and seeing where it connects with the earth. Taking one last breath here. And simply lowering your chest all the way to the floor. A really gentle one that's great for the nervous system. You can just rest your head in your palms. Knees are hip distance. You're going to bend your knees 90 degrees and then let your feet sway side to side. This just allows the hips and the lower back to maybe release any tension in a really light way. Just about 10 more seconds of these prone windshield wipers. More for the nervous system than for the stretch. Shaking out any stress. And meeting back at the center. Bring the feet towards the floor. Tuck the toes. They're in a push-up position. Pressing up to our full upward facing dog. And then pressing up and back into our downward facing dog. Beautiful. Start to pedal out those heels, active through the shoulders, stretching out those calves, maybe holding on each calf a little bit longer, bending and straightening knee to get calf and then Achilles. Eyes gaze up towards your hands and tippy toe up to the top, nice and gentle today. Toes facing in. Grabbing for your elbows, ragdoll, exhale, forward fold, and gently sway side to side. Feeling where your hands grasp at your arms. Maybe shaking your head no, shaking your head yes. And release the hands. Staying in this forward fold, you're going to step your right foot forward about 6 to 8 inches. Keep your hips in a flat, hip square, flat back, and then exhale, forward fold over the right hamstring. Most of the weight should be in your right heel. Left foot should still be flat on the floor, but maybe just 20% of your weight there. About 20 more seconds to hold in this deep right hamstring stretch. Allow your head to rest heavy. And simply slide the right foot back. Slide the left foot forward about 8 inches. Hips stay square. Sending your weight slightly forward. Flat spine, exhale, forward fold over the left leg, deep left hamstring stretch. Feeling that pull all the way down. We're almost there in this upside down position, letting all the blood rush to your head, clearing your thoughts. Maybe there's a thought you had that you'd like to let go of today. Let it go through the top of your head. Anything that doesn't serve you. Slide that left foot back. And we're going to definitely slowly roll up to the top. You might feel a little lightheaded after all that time upside down. Arms hang heavy. Slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Chin is going to finish last. You're going to be opposite of me. So step your left foot behind your right foot, so you'll step that way, grabbing for your left wrist, exhale, side bend, about a 15-second hold here. Really feel that length we're creating through the spine. Breathe into that left hip. Great job, everyone. Slowly come through the center. Cross the other leg behind and side bend, send the right hip away. You breathe into that right side of your torso, create that space. Coming back to the center, feet about hip distance. Exhale, cactus the arms, back bend. Inhale to rise. Exhale, flat back, bow forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, inching into a high plank. We're gonna get a couple shoulder shrugs here just to open up the shoulder blades, sinking the shoulder blades down, and then pressing up just about 20 seconds of these scat push-ups. Not too much work today, but just enough to open up those shoulder blades. Last one. Bring the knees down towards the floor. We'll get one more round of our cat-cow here. So again, starting with an exhale, round to the top. Feel if there's more spaciousness in those shoulder blades. Inhale to arch. And just noticing how in such a short time, you can feel the difference in your body, you can feel the difference in your mind, and being consistent with your practice as you continue to show up for your body and your energy. We'll get last one more stretch for the shoulders before we get into our hips. We'll get our thread the needle, but this time a little right arm underneath, a little bit of a dynamic one today. This one always reminds me of like an alligator. Bring both palms together, and then you're going to open your left arm towards the ceiling. Really try to open your chest, super challenging. And then lower back down. Yes, continue at your own pace. Right back of the palm is on the floor. Open that left chest and arm just as far as you feel comfortable. Pressing that right arm into the floor to create that space. Using your own body weight as leverage. Last one. Great job. Bring the left hand to the floor. Slide through our tabletop. And then drop the left shoulder to the ground. And we'll repeat that kind of alligator, thread the needle on the ground. Here you go at your own pace. Open the right arm towards the ceiling. I like to inhale as the hands meet together. And then exhale, push the left arm into the ground. It's going to create that leverage. I love hearing the breath. Great work. Doing the best you can to stay present right here. If that mind wanders, pull it back. We'll get one more rep. Beautiful. Right hand comes underneath. We'll reset with a brief child's pose before our hip circuit, hip sequence. We'll get our elbows variation, bringing your elbows to the floor, hips back, reach your hands down your back. Maybe once you arrive into your knuckles, your elbows another inch forward. 30 seconds to breathe. And just scan your body. Taking long, slow exhales. Allow yourself to be present. Slowly coming out of that stretch, pressing back onto the hands into our tabletop. And let's transition into our last 10 minutes of focusing mostly on our hips. Let's start with pressing up and back into our downward facing dog. We're going to jump right into our right leg here. Send your right leg up to the ceiling, three-legged dog. Bend your right knee, open your right hip, tracing 3 big hip circles here. And then reversing directions, 3 hip circles the other way. Making sure to breathe, take your time. Straightening the right knee. Send the right knee all the way through into our lunge here. Dropping the left knee towards the floor. Inhale to rise up. And exhale, interlace the fingers behind your back, shoulder and hip stretch. 30-second holds. Drop that left hip towards the floor. Eyes gazing up towards the ceiling. Proud chest, heart open. Just about 2 more breaths. Placing the hands inside of the right foot. You're going to pivot 90 degrees to face the door into a low lunge. We're going to do a low lunge hold on the right side, about 30 seconds here. If your heel comes off the ground, that's okay, but trying to get the foot flat. In whatever position you need to hold your hands on the ground, pressing yourself up. Your left knee should be facing the ceiling. 10 seconds to go. And again, use whatever support for your hands that you need, almost there. Beautiful work. Place the hands towards the center of your body. Use them to help you press up into a standing straddle. Nice flat back. And from here, if it feels good for you, exhale, fold forward, interlace your hands behind your back again, and pull your knuckles towards the floor. About 30 seconds to hold. Another opportunity to shake your head no, shake your head yes. I always like to imagine releasing maybe one thought today that I had that probably wasn't true and just letting it go. Let's not believe everything that you think. One last breath. 2 more poses on this side. Standing up, putting your hands on your thighs, dropping into a sumo squat, 1 spinal twist each way. First dropping to the right shoulder, you look towards the back wall, exhale. Inhale through the center. Exhale, drop the left shoulder. Coming back to the center, hands come down, inch the feet maybe 4 inches closer. And then final tough pose here, dropping into a low sumo squat, low as you can, elbows into the knees, 30-second hold. Finding that center. Definitely a challenging combination today. Knowing that even in the slowness, sometimes that can be more challenging. Placing the hands to the floor, sending the hips back up, simply pivoting towards the front, so your right leg is in front. Hands come down, step the right foot back, step the left foot back into a plank. Lower to your push-up, upward facing dog. And flip the toes, downward facing dog. We'll get just 1 more round of that on our left side, but for now, taking 1 breath to reset here. And here we go. Raise your left leg up to the ceiling. Stay present. Open your left hip. Bend your left knee. Tracing those 3 big circles. Noticing it's okay if the left side feels a little different. Reverse directions, 3 circles the other way. Last one, leg extends straight. Step the left foot all the way through. Drop the right knee towards the floor. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, interlace the hands, drop the hip, lift the chest. 30 seconds. Remembering that intention that you brought to class, and checking in with yourself, if that still feels present. Placing the hands inside of the left foot, pivoting towards that side wall. Low lunge on the left. Again, place that heel down if you can, maybe taking a moment to get there. Kind of shimmy your torso into a position that feels right. Can you stay focused and present? Try not to squirm out of the discomfort, but instead to surrender to it. Maybe to allow the discomfort, letting it be. And just 1 more breath. Placing your hands towards the center, using them for support to press you up into a standing straddle, adjust as needed. And interlace your hands, another forward fold, melt forward, reach your knuckles towards the floor. Every exhale, can you feel your body melting? Fully emptying the lungs. Release the hands, hands come up to your thighs, standing up into our tall sumo, dropping down, and first dropping the left shoulder, spinal twist, exhale. Inhale through the center. Exhale, drop the right shoulder. And back to the center, final stretch here. Inch the feet a little bit closer, and one more 30-second low at the sumo. Take your time getting down there. Shift your feet as needed, and then find a position where you can lift your chest, feel tall, and let your tailbone sink low. Find your center. Hands in front of your heart, honoring the way that you show up for your routines. The more consistently you show up for yourself, the more you build that self-trust and showing up for the things that you are committed to. Taking one more breath here. Hands come down, lift the hips back up, pivot towards that left front leg. We'll take one final step back with our left foot, right foot meets in a plank, lowering down to our push-up, upward facing dog, and one last child's pose for about 30 seconds to allow that all to integrate. Regular child's pose. Just scanning your body, head to toe, knowing that you made it. For if you are here in this space, you are honoring the commitments that you've made to yourself. So breathing in that gratitude for yourself for showing up today. And exhale, sigh it out. And whenever you feel complete, you can roll your way flat onto your back with your heads facing the bowls, palms facing up to receive. Taking any water if you need it. As we transition to our sound bath healing. And staying present with your body, not letting your mind go anywhere else but here. Noticing the weight where your body just melts into the floor. And our intention overall today is all about structure and knowing that adding in the structure of self-care, this yoga, this mobility, this sound healing, this meditation, is just as important as the rest of your more intense parts of your routine. So with today's intention, I really want you to think about what are the structures that you have in place that are most supportive to balancing your mind, your body, and your energy. And with that, we will begin. supporting you and in alignment with the person you desire to be? And how can you double down on those things, those habits? And the last question, what is one pattern that you are willing and capable and committed to letting go of? And decide to let go of that pattern today. And you feel the white bubble of light cradling you down towards the earth. And you feel a sense of clarity and commitment to yourself, knowing you are so worthy